Hello, my name is Jose Alan Galindo, and I will be talking about how I am against immigration. I am against how immigration tends to be unfair. They deport aliens just because they committed a crime. This causes them to be separated from their family and makes their life a bit harder. Illegals cross over the borders and look for jobs. They sometimes take the jobs that other people might need. Some don't even cross the borders without getting their papers. They take up jobs that aliens with papers are trying to get. They have to follow our laws. The book that I've read called Illegal Immigration Opposing Viewpoints mentions how some people believe that if immigrants want to work in the U.S., they would have to follow the American laws and have their papers proving that they can work in the U.S. without getting into trouble. For example, the movie Under the Same Moon is about how a young 9-year-old boy who crosses the border illegally goes looking for his mother, who he hasn't seen in a very long time. The reason why his mother came to the U.S. illegally was just so she could find a job and send his son money so he could go to school. Another movie called Instructions Not Included is about how a young man who crosses illegally into the U.S. is looking for a woman who left her child with him because he is the father and wants him to take care of the child, but he wasn't suited to do so, so he went looking for the mother, and he could never find her. What both these movies have in common is that they both involve how people cross into the U.S. illegally without getting their papers, so showing that they can be in the U.S. legally without getting into trouble with immigration or border patrol. Illegal immigration opposing viewpoints even mentions how a former member of the U.S. House of Representatives argued that illegal immigration is harming America. He says that many illegal immigrants come for two purposes that are both destructive and expensive: to commit crimes or to receive government benefits. And so, what he says here tends to be true. Immigration, Newcomers, and Their Effect on the United States is another book that I've read that mentions how some people in the famous history, such as Thomas Paine and Benjamin Franklin, believe how immigration would affect the U.S. and the consequences could either be good or bad. So, if we have a bad immigration system, we don't know what could be the outcome. Illegal aliens can even be considered a threat to the U.S. Some even consider like people from a foreign land to be terrorists because we know nothing about them. We don't know if they want to get a job or they could lie to us why they are in the U.S. and be a threat to us as to the American people. Not even to mention they are increasing the population, which is not really that bad, but may cause some problems with when they need somewhere to stay. There isn't that much room for everyone, especially where to live. Like if they wanted to rent a house or an apartment, there may be other people that might have more money than they do, and there's not enough room for everybody. They don't even have health insurance. So when they get sick, who would pay for that? Most most of the illegals that do come here, some have insurance, but some don't. So even if they were working, I don't think their job would pay for that. The article "What Triggers Public Opposition to Immigration: Anxiety, Group Cues, and Immigration Threats" says that public debates about immigration often suggest the interests, values, or lifestyles of citizens are in harm's way. Elite discourse tends to emphasize adverse consequences for jobs, taxes, crimes, school, cultural norms, or even social harmony. This means that whatever the immigrants choose to do in the U.S., they will face different consequences. I have just finished explaining why I'm against immigration. Now, just come to think of it, would you want immigrants to take what's yours? Is it fair that people who you have absolutely no idea about come from another country? Is that fair for you to hire somebody like that? Just think if a person from a foreign place is either good or bad. Because I mean, there's a saying, you don't always judge a book by its cover. So, whatever the outcome, that's what we will face us as the American people. we will face whether we will have good judgment or bad judgment about immigration, even the immigrants.